And a good morning as we approach 8 minutes after 6 under partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the mid-30s, heading for possibly the mid-50s today. We take a break, check out the weather, and it's being brought to you this time by Manchester Brook Materials, where they offer crushed stone and ledge products. We will rock you at Manchester Brook Materials in East Drygate and also at 596 Cross Road in Waterford. You could call Darcy at 802-633-4122.
Is part of your property too tough to mow? Or do you need a new driveway or must fix your old one? Ask Manchester Brook Materials for a quote today. Plus for topsoil, erosion stone, riprap, and stay mat. Plus crushed stone products from 3/4 inch plant mix up to 5 inches. Manchester Brook Materials will deliver or load it for you. 6:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. weekdays, 7 a.m. to 12 noon Saturdays, or by appointment. We will rock you with competitive pricing and estimates. Call 802-633-4122.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny. Valley highs in the mid to upper 50s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, gusting to 20 miles an hour this morning. Clear to partly cloudy tonight. Lows from the mid-20s to around 30. Winds diminishing to light and variable. Saturday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Winds remaining light and variable. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, Lawrence, thank you. As we 9 minutes after 6, and temperatures expected to be creeping into the low and mid-50s today. Right now, partly cloudy skies and updated weather. This time around brought to you by Manchester Brook Materials. You could call Darcy at 802-633-4122. Manchester Brook Materials has 2 convenient locations at 596 Cross Road, Waterford, and also Route 5 North, East Reigate. Manchester Brook Materials, updating you on the weather forecast. All right, let's see what's up with the Patriots with a Tom Cuddy Sports Report.
Patriots practice today, travel tomorrow, kickoff at the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. Patriots favored, head coach Mike Vrabel on preparations.
Well, I think that they try to come in with the same approach every week. You know, what did we do well? They try to learn a new opponent, try to build a routine, a consistent routine, try to practice, to have the energy and the speed required to, not only improve, but to prepare. Kind of everybody's been ready to go, try to get them to prepare as a starter every week, no matter who it is.
During yesterday's question-answer session, Vrabel was asked to explain the first-place New England Patriots.
Well, they're not going to cancel the rest of the season, and that's not really our focus right now. I would say that we've put ourselves in a position to play meaningful games, certainly focusing on this one on the road. They just attacked Buffalo, and they figured out what we needed to do against the Saints, focusing on Tennessee.
Patriots head coach Mike.
Hey, good morning to you. We're 16 minutes after 6. We'll take another look at the weather for you momentarily, as we got a pretty busy morning here again with the final Bear Ridge Speedway race report of the season coming up in less than a half hour. Butch and April in here to give us the final update of the year. Of course, the reports all year long brought to you by your friends at Wells River Chevrolet, which is part of the Autosaver Group, which is also going to be updating you on the weather forecast momentarily. A reminder that Jazzy's Children Halloween Open House happens this Saturday, October 18th. It'll be from 1 to 3 in Groton at the Community Building. Wear your costume. There will be games, snacks, crafts, and a lot of fun. That's going to be in the afternoon tomorrow right there in Groton at the Community Building, 1 to 3. The weather forecast, we're taking a look at that right after these.
Hi, it's Chelsea from Wise, and this is our 10th year producing Wise Words. Today, Lydia, a senior from Lebanon High School, is sharing Wise Words.
We know that consent is not hard or confusing. You just have to ask. But consent is more than asking just one question. For us to give consent, we need more information, like knowing how old the other person is, what we're agreeing to do, and what we don't want to do. Maybe we want to know whether we're exclusive or seeing other people, and what precautions we want to feel safe. We get to decide for ourselves what information we need to make an informed choice, and we get to stop whenever things aren't feeling right. We all deserve partners who listen to us, don't pressure us into things that make us feel uncomfortable, and stop when things aren't okay. What do you need to feel ready to say yes?
These Wise Words are supported by the Hypertherm Hope Foundation, a proud sponsor of Wise and our goal to end violence, share hope, and change lives. To learn more, please visit our website, wiseuv.org.
The Granite Group, Vermont's home for everything in plumbing, heating, cooling, and energy products, has opened its newest branch at 1306 Memorial Drive in St. Johnsbury. Proudly featuring world-class manufacturers like Rinnai. More homeowners and businesses choose Rinnai than any other tankless water heater brand. Contractors, visit the Granite Group for daily specials and in-house promotions offered exclusively through our St. Johnsbury location. Our friendly team shares a common vision: get you the products you need to make your job easier. Learn more at thegranitegroup.com.
Hey, good morning. It's about 19 minutes after 6, Friday morning here on the 17th day of October. Let's see, a couple of weeks. It'll be the last day, and it will be Halloween. Yeah, 2 weeks from today. It is the 17th. Let's not confuse you. All right, we're getting set to check out the weather. It's brought to you by your friends at Wells River Chevrolet, which is part of the Autosaver Group, and that's a really big deal, as in the Autosaver Group's Big Deal Plus that comes at no charge with the purchase or lease of every new or used vehicle.
Hi, this is Grace from the Autosaver Group's Wells River Chevrolet. Chevy has some really great vehicles like the sporty and affordable Trax, Trailblazer, and Equinox. We have the third row Traverse, the Tahoe, and of course the Chevy Silverado. Wells River Chevy. We also have the all-electric Blazer, Equinox, and Silverado EVs. We have something for everyone, and they all come with the Big Deal Plus. Stop by or shop online anytime at wellsriverchevy.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny. Valley highs in the mid to upper 50s, north winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, gusting to 20 miles an hour this morning. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, lows from the mid-20s to around 30, winds diminishing to light and variable. Saturday, mostly sunny, highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s, winds remaining light and variable. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, 20 minutes after 6. We have temperature readings all over the place. Let's see, the Weather Nation is showing 34. Our thermometer here on the wall is showing 40. We have cell phones that are showing like 38. So, I don't know. Let's go with what we have on the wall here at 40. So we're 40 degrees at our Route 302 broadcast studios. And there you have it. Update a look at the weather brought to you by Wells River Chevrolet. And by the way, Ted Cooper checks in this morning at about 7:45, as he does every couple of weeks. Find out what's happening right here locally in downtown Wells River Chevrolet, and the Autosaver Group presenting the weekend weather. And they invite you to stop by and check it out. We hope you're with us at about 7:45 this morning when Ted Cooper checks in, gives us an update as to what's happening at Wells River Chevrolet with Jordan Davis right here, Your Country, WYKR, about 27 after 6, Friday the 17th of October. Steve and John and friends right up until 9 o'clock this morning. A lot of folks we'll be chatting with. And coming up shortly after 8:30 this morning, it's the Wells River Savings Bank sponsored Business Spotlight, heard the third Friday of the month, shortly after 8:30. And let's see, should be an interesting conversation with Plentitude PR coming up. And we look forward to that conversation with Jessica Jones-Hughes and guest. We hope you can be with us during that, coming up later this morning. We have a few things happening in the listening area this weekend. They include the Haverhill Historical Society that proudly announces their annual open house at the Ladd Street School. And that'll be happening this weekend. It's Saturday, October 18th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Penny sale and silent auction Saturday, October 18th. Doors opening at 9. The drawing starts at 2. Silent auction bids stop at 2. Orangey Senior Center in Bradford. Baked goods will be on sale. Lunch will be available. And you do not need to be present to win, they say. Winter clothing giveaway, jackets, hats, scarves, mittens, etc. Clothing for everyone, all sizes, coming up tomorrow, October 18th, 10 to 2, downstairs in North Haverhill at the United Methodist Church. And again, Jazzy's Children Halloween Open House this Saturday, 1 to 3, in Groton at the Community Building. Wear your costume, games, snacks, crafts, and a lot of fun. Some of the things happening here in the listening area.
Cashback.
And we'll check out that weather right after this important message from St. Johnsbury, CDJR.
So where's the big deal? Holy schmoly, it's Matt LeCuyer from the Auto Saver Group, St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The Drive Into Fall event is rolling full throttle right now, and adventure is calling. This season, tackle Vermont back roads and beyond in true Jeep fashion with a brand new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. It's yours for just $449 per month for 36 months with zero down. That's right, no money out of pocket, just pure capability, comfort, and confidence on every drive. But don't hit the brakes. These offers won't last long, and our inventory is moving fast. And get ready for some serious horsepower because the legendary Raminator Monster Truck is coming to St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on October 24th and 25th. See it live as it crushes cars and shakes the ground right here at your hometown dealership. So head to St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Memorial Drive just past the railroad tracks or visit stjohnsburycdjr.com. St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Vermont comes to drive.
Stock number SJJ 25109. 10,000 miles per year, 30 cents per mile over. Tax title registration extra. Must have current Stellantis brand lease or non-Stellantis vehicle registered in household to qualify. First payment due at signing.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny. Valley highs in the mid to upper 50s, north winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, gusting to 20 miles an hour this morning. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, lows from the mid-20s to around 30, winds diminishing to light and variable. Saturday, mostly sunny, highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s, winds remaining light and variable. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Thank you, Lawrence. Coming up in an hour, we'll be chatting live with Mark Breen at the Fairbanks Museum. Right now, though, it is about 6:32, and we're hanging around 40 degrees at our Route 302 broadcast studios. Updated weather brought to you this time around by St. Johnsbury, cdjr.com, and St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, which is part of the Auto Saver Group. Hanging around 40 degrees on a Friday, the 17th of October. Steve and John and friends, we take it at 9 o'clock. And a lot of great guests that we'll have today. We hope you can be with us during the duration. Updating the weather forecast and bringing it to you. Chief Crushing and Excavation. And you can line up your projects by calling Chief today at 802-584-3868.
Chief Crushing and Excavation, with plenty of products available that can be delivered to you from one of their many nearby Vermont or New Hampshire locations. Products available include sand for septic systems, crushed gravel, topsoil, clay fill, stay mat, ledge, and specialty items such as blue ledge and gravel. Excavation and land clearing services are also available. Chief Crushing and Excavation is fully insured and has the knowledge, know-how, and equipment to get the job done right for you. For quarry operating hours, pricing, and directions, call Chief Crushing and Excavation at 802-584-3868.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny. Valley highs in the mid to upper 50s, north winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, gusting to 20 miles an hour this morning. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, lows from the mid-20s to around 30, winds diminishing to light and variable. Saturday, mostly sunny, highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s, winds remaining light and variable. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
At 6:40, the current temperature, we're sitting at about 40 degrees. Updated weather brought to you by Chief Crushing and Excavation. Be sure to call Chief here in Vermont, 802-584-3868. Getting set for the Bay Ridge Speedway race report coming up here in just a minute or so.
And supplements.
All right, 6:41. And boy, was she singing a song this morning.
It's the last day. I can sleep next week. Yeah.
He's so sad.
I know.
And you are too.
Hey, Hey.
Aren't you?
Do I look it? I can look sad. It's tired. It's not over yet. I mean,
I know.
I can take this hour and sleep and.
Still making trophies and getting ready for the banquet.
Just starting.
Which is scheduled for
28th and 9th of November.
Right.
Because I went to get the same week as last year, and I asked on Friday when we were setting up, I said, I want to go ahead and book for this year. She's like, oh, no, it's already booked. I'm like, what? Yeah. So it wasn't by choice. It was by necessity. So
you're like 6 weeks away then.
Oh, God, that's awful close. I'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween, a couple of weeks. It'll be the end of the month. And we head into November, Thanksgiving. All of a sudden it's Christmas, into the new year. And before you know it, we're racing again, Butch. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, man. You love it.
You're number one. You're number one.
Oh, boy.
Again.
I'm going to put a camera on her next year. I'll tell you. We're going to stream her. She won't get away with all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you had good weather again.
It wasn't bad.
And I saw some pictures. It was dark when you finished things up.
It was a long day.
It looked like it was dark anyway.
We got there at 8 o'clock and we stopped, a.m.
Yeah.
We stopped at 9 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
It was great. We had good counts. Butch will talk about it. But there was the line. Bill Jostler at one point says, "I can see the light at the end of the line," and I was like, went over and slapped him because it was still wrapped up around the building. I'm like, "What planet are you on?" So it was good. We had 81 enduro cars.
81 enduro cars.
And 37 were first timers, so it's extra paperwork.
Look at that.
Yeah.
No kidding. Where'd they come from?
Everywhere.
They would have to.
Yeah.
Boy, the word got out then. So your Fun Day Sundays turning out to be quite the event. This was the 9th.
This was the 9th.
The 9th annual. It was on the 12th. I thought you were talking the date.
I know what I'm talking about most of the time. Most of the time.
It's the 12th date. 9th annual.
No, it was a good day. You know, about 3 o'clock, the sun kind of went away and started clouding in, and you could feel coldness a little bit coming through or whatever. And when we got through the next race, I says, there was a fellow standing beside me, TJ, and he says, "Get a little cool here, ain't it?" I said, "Yeah, a little bit. I guess I shouldn't have worn my shorts today." He said, "That's okay.
Got to always have some extra
layers,
in the vehicle."
Layers at this time of year.
So you have some results, or because it was racing last week, right?
Oh yes.
Okay.
And here, you know, one of our major sponsors, Wells River Chevrolet. You know, we had the Dirt Car Sportsman Coupes there for a Sunday fun day.
That was just for fun. There were no points or anything.
No
right?
points.
Okay.
No. And when it was all done, they came across the start-finish line. There was 4 of them underneath a blanket, and I think the guy that was leading it wound up 3rd.
Really?
When they started between 3 and 4, he was leading, and he wound up 3rd, I think.
For that segment.
So anyway, you know, they were right underneath the blanket. They were swapping positions. It was a pretty good race.
Yeah, it must have been fun because there was nothing. You know, it was just for fun.
It was for fun. You know,
nothing on the line.
Nothing on the line. Some money, and they took the total of 2 segments, put them together, and the overall winner, I think, by 1 point was Jason Gray.
Okay,
but Michael Danforth was right there knocking on the door. Lucas Wheeler 3rd, Todd Buchwald 4th, Jordan Fornwalt, name you haven't heard of for a while, rounded out the top 5 overall. A.J. Pushy, Jeremy Huntoon, Earl Maxim Jr., A.J. Alsop, and Alexis Pushy rounded out in the top 10.
Oh, the second finish he was 5th. Never mind, keep going. I thought I screwed up. You're good.
You're doing good.
Fine.
She thinks.
No, yeah. I'm looking at the second segment finish right up, and it had a different. You're doing the overall.
And the WYKR Women's Enduro, Amanda Lucier picked up the win over Sophia Beer, Tristan Bartlett, Carmen Hatch, Samantha White, top 5, Annie Tatro, Samantha Page, Megan Goodwin, Stephanie Rondo, and Katie Sykes rounded out the top 10. There was 23.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we need to stop and take a moment. It was like this, the women's in the duo were crazy this year. We had double, almost, it seemed like, car count for those. And the women's race started out a little scary at the beginning. Kudos to Upper Valley Ambulance and
Great
everybody.
job.
But
Yep.
Danita Moore was driving her friend's car, and I don't know. He said it was the first time she was ever in the car, so he doesn't know what happened. She ended up in the wall pretty hard right in front of the pit grandstands. But she's home, probably still sore, but everybody's okay. Just so
cool.
It was kind of a scary wreck. So
Yeah.
I know she's okay, so I thought it'd be worth mentioning.
No, great job there. She's probably got shoulder strap
burns, yeah, from her seatbelt.
I was going to say, were they swapping paint? I guess so.
Yeah, that was it was the first lap. So I asked him, I said, did the throttle hook? And he said she didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know if her foot, she thought was on the brake and it wasn't. But she's okay. So that was good. And then they were good after that, wasn't it?
Yeah, they went right along pretty good after that. Yep. In the WOIKR Duo Enduro which is the man-woman race. Amanda Lucia, Kevin LaForest picked up the win over Stephanie Rondo and Dan Rondo. Second, Tristan Bartlett, Alex Thero third, Sophia Beard, Donald Beer fourth, Megan Goodwin, Ryan Goodwin fifth, Liz LaRock, Michael LaRock sixth, Bryn Martin, Ryan Sayers seventh, Casey Smith, Travis King eighth, Maddie Duke, Matt Potter ninth, and rounded out the top 10 in that class was Sam Page and Sam Taylor, and there was 20 cars in that. So
And there was 28 that signed up.
Really? Wow.
But
28.
we lost 8 between the women's because we lost 1, 2. Well, I think the 07, anyway. And then we lost, I think probably they were fighting in the pits already before they got in the cars and decided not to race. But we had 28 registered.
Man, that's good.
That was great.
That's good. And I wonder what the conversation is like as they're going around the track hollering at each other.
I can imagine.
Inside the vehicle.
No, I can imagine.
That would be awesome.
You definitely can tell if you know the people which one's driving.
Yeah, I'll bet you can.
Throttle's on the right.
Oh, boy.
Throttle's on the right. A little faster. Throttle's on the right.
Yeah.
I can hear that coming.
And then they don't want to do it because they know they're going to. I don't know if I could do it with
That's
Butch
too
because
funny.
he'd be giving me crap the whole time and I'd just be like,
too funny.
stop.
Oh, too funny.
That's
great. That's why it's Fun Day Sunday. Man.
And in the Joe Mama Sporting Goods 4 and 6 cylinder enduro, 81 cars. 2 did not start. 3 did not start. So 78.
Man.
I guess that.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Maybe a couple. But there was a lot of cars there.
Wow.
150 laps.
Really?
150 laps.
And you started with 78 cars?
78. 4 wide around the racetrack.
How many finished?
Well, it was 21. We're still
21, 22.
Yeah.
Uh,
About a quarter. But that's what an enduro is.
When it was all done, Brandon Gray picked up the win over Tim Colby, Trevor Jakes, Justin Fayford, Jerry Davis, top 5, Travis King, 6th, Doug Bandy, 7th, Trevor Hess, 8th, Blaine Teller, 9th, and Riley Chafee rounded out the top 10. Do you have your final points for?
Yep. I think it's.
And you can do that.
Top 5 recognized at the banquet are going to be Justin Ford in first, Tim Colby is second, Trevor Hess third, Brandon Gray fourth, and Scott Doland is fifth. And they will be recognized at the banquet. They need to be there like everybody else Friday night at Fireside. I know that Trevor Hess's wife is very excited because I sent her the form yesterday, so she wanted to know before I got the points out. So I wrote back, I said he's third, and she was quite excited. So I think the Hesses will be there at least.
So it was a good race.
Yeah.
We had a couple of minor incidents,
The demos.
a couple of rollovers.
Yeah.
Demos, I have the demo winners there and there.
Oh, yeah.
Demolition Derby winners. You got to be a winner there,
Well,
too.
I don't have an overall in the demo because there's one person that's still going and there's one winner, so I didn't do
Well,
overall.
we got something.
Yeah, but I have
Right.
the overall.
The V8 Enduro winner was Kevin Bacon. And I've heard that name quite a lot before, so he is a regular with the V8 Enduros. In the Pro 4-cylinder Enduro winner was Sean McPhee, and the regular 4-cylinder winner was James Core.
Yep.
So congratulations to those guys.
We had, with the Pro 4s, I think we had over 40 demo cars, which is quite a bit better than last year.
Yep.
It
was a good turnout for demos.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dean Switzer and his crew for coming down and taking care of the demos for us.
I don't know, we wouldn't.
What?
I wouldn't do it.
You'd be lost. That's
So,
okay.
I wouldn't be lost.
I would be.
With it being fresh in your mind, with the Fun Day last week, any tweaks for next year or something up your sleeve already?
A couple of
like
tweaks,
last
but
week
nothing.
was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, nobody gets the day off.
It was a little bit long.
It was
a little bit longer than what we'd planned on.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's, we can tweak it a little bit more. I've already spoke to Dean about it just a little bit and how we could rearrange it just a little bit more, to keep it.
It's a long day for everybody.
It
Everybody.
is.
Yep.
And the thing
Man.
too is we did have that one wreck where she went to the hospital, of course, for observation.
Yeah.
But that took half hour, 45 minutes out
about
of our
3/4
show.
an hour, yeah.
So you can't plan on those things. Right. If you planned on it and said, all right, we're going to have one rollover, so we're only going to spend this much time, then you wouldn't have it, and you'd have a half-hour show.
And when you get to that point, what happens is, the ambulance is busy and this and that, and you have to stop all operations.
We can't race because there's nothing. Nobody can respond because they're attending to somebody.
That's right.
So we have to stop.
So everything
racing.
has to stop until they get that taken care of and everything done. And they brought in an extra ambulance to pick up the person or whatever and get it out.
So that's what they do. So when
three-quarters of an hour downtime.
Yeah. And we can't, and then we had a couple of the rollovers, but they were all okay. Nobody was trying, but that takes time to get the cars rolled over. I mean, one of them came back out in the Enduro, the 33.
Yeah.
03. So
that time is cumulative. So all of a sudden, you're over an hour of downtime.
Just in prolonged safety issues.
Yeah.
That was over an hour to add to the day. And then there's weeks you go when it never happens. So
why did you decide in that 78 cars to go that many laps?
That was decided before we even started.
So maybe not have as many laps.
It was 150 lap enduro.
Stuff like that.
You could go.
It's something fun.
Yeah.
It's something those
trying
guys
to make it a fun day.
Don't get a chance to do very often.
True.
Some of the guys will sit back and wait for a while, and then before they start moving, some guys want to move early, whatever. And so all kinds of strategies.
True.
And I don't know how to do this differently, but it takes a while to get that started because all the cars have to go across the start-finish line so I can get their number programmed in for the scoring system.
Yeah.
And I made sure Sunday that and they use somebody else's transponder, so it shows up with a different car number and a name. So I've got to take it out. So it's not just put in a number and go. And I got. They got ahead of me a little bit, so they had to stop, and we had to get caught up because I knew with 81 cars, there was no way once they threw the green, I was going to have no idea who was crossing the line if I didn't have it in. So that took time.
Yeah, so efficiency. You got to look at that.
Yeah.
Sounds like for every spectators, the people that are racing, for you guys in the background. So, thank our sponsors because you guys need sponsors. We need sponsors.
Wells River Chevrolet, we can't thank them enough for what they do for us.
I think St. JCDJR had a good day.
Had a great day.
Yeah, I think he had a good day. Hopefully he was happy. He had a pretty good crowd in his booth. So
good.
Thank the boys from the Caledonia County Fair for coming down and doing the demo work because that's just, they have to inspect their cars before they go out and make sure this is that and rights and stuff like that. And they take care of the whole demo out in the pit area. They've got their guys that understand what they're doing in the demos and who's dead, who isn't dead, or whatever. So, cars that way.
So,
cars.
So, even though she's planning on being here next year, as long as we're all upright.
Next year's a long ways away. I got to get through this year. I haven't got through this year yet. I'm not talking about next year till this year's over, and that will be on November 30th.
All right. So, February-ish, we'll start talking more about it. So, be ready.
July, we can start talking about it.
Get out of here. All right. Anyway, it's great.
1st of December.
It's great working with both of you.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're glad you show up bright and early on Friday mornings.
I come just to say hi to your wife.
I know you do.
Good thing.
All right.
But anyway, it's been fun.
For having us.
Another great year.
Thank you for the opportunity to.
Plan on being here for 59.
Yeah, okay. We look forward to it. All right, we have a word from our sponsor, Wells River Chevrolet. We'll be checking out the weather, and then we got news just around the corner.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you, WIKR and Wells River Chevrolet.
Hi, this is Grace from the Auto Saver
All right, and we certainly appreciate the updated look at the weather forecast as we head into the weekend, being brought to you by your friends at Farmway right there in Bradford. Be sure to get in there and check them out. We're transitioning through fall, heading towards winter, and they can help out no matter what. Hunting season right here on the border, Vermont, New Hampshire, they can help you out there. Of course, the outdoor furniture that's good year-round, you can leave it out there. It lasts, seems like forever. It's pretty amazing what we have locally at Farmway right there in Bradford. So be sure and shop locally and check them out. They're also online at vermontgear.com. And thank them for updating you and bringing you the weekend weather forecast right here at your country. WYKR Haverhill, WTWN Wells River, W286DE Wells River at 105.1 FM. We're all set to take a break here. Coming up in just a minute or so, we'll be updating you on the latest world and national news from CBS. And let's see, we'll be chatting with Charlie Greif from Four Corners Farm with his weekly update as we come out of the news.
Cashback is not available on gas.
We're going to South Newbury right now and checking in with Charlie Gray. How you doing?
Good. It's getting darker and darker. I mean, a month ago we were fighting the fog, and then now it's pitch black just after 6.
Isn't that so true?
It's getting closer and closer, but
it is.
Yeah, it's a good day today. Didn't frost. You know, we're still picking strawberries, which is, you know, definitely been a record for us. I think we're over 4.5 months we've had strawberries for sale in the farm stand. So it was a good season, and we're still going strong. I think we picked the last 2 days, and we're going to pick again today. So if people are still, and the strawberries right now, they're like liquid. I mean, it's like syrup, candy syrup. They're so sweet because of all the longer this variety, the ever-bearing variety, stays in the ground, the sweeter they get. So it's the flavor and everything is amazing right now. So if people haven't come down and got themselves a quart of strawberries this weekend and this weekend and probably next weekend would be the best time to do it because we're packing up here. We'll still have the farm stand will still be stocked with plenty of vegetables. I mean, we got, you know, there's not even a inch of free space in the farm stand right now. We're just, you know,
that's going to make you feel
got
good.
Everything available.
Yeah. So
it feels really good. It feels really good to have so much availability and also diversity in our farm stand. So it's, you know, it's still not too late. I know we've been preaching it for a while, but you know, there's always time to put stuff in your freezer because once the farm stand closes down, that's it until next spring. So it's always nice to enjoy whether it's fruit or broccoli or cauliflower or I mean, my wife even does Brussels sprouts. So just take the Brussels sprouts right off the stalk, do a quick blanch, and then throw them in the freezer so you can have for Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's you can have some kind of green vegetable.
Pretty awesome. Hey, how about pumpkins? We're 2 weeks away from Halloween.
Yes, 2 weeks away from Halloween. We don't have corn stalks anymore. That was kind of a hit. We sold quite a few, but we still have plenty of pumpkins available. So if you haven't brought the kids over to pick out your pumpkin or your squash for Halloween, we have plenty available. So it's always a nice thing, you know, to do a little pumpkin carving, and it's plenty out now. I mean, only thing I would recommend is if it's a really cold night, if we get a 20-degree night between now and then, I just bring your pumpkin inside because the pumpkins can handle a light frost, probably down to like 30, 31, but anything below that, they might damage it. And, you know, so if you have a really cold frost, bring your pumpkins in. But yeah, we have plenty of pumpkins available. It's definitely time to get one or two for the kids. So, along with Indian corn, if you need we have a lot of the Abenaki, the colored flint corn. If you want to put it on your door, we put it on our doors as just a decorative if people want. So.
And in regards to, let's see, your honey, your meats, your jams, how about an update there, Charlie?
All right, yeah. So we had a really good season with all the fruits. So we have plenty of jams available. We got all the flavors. We got also all of our pie fillings, which we don't talk about very much. So if you know how to make a crust, but you're not great on the filling, we can definitely have that available. We have lots of raspberry. I think we have some strawberry rhubarb pie filling and some blueberry. We still have a bunch of the other processed vegetables, so we still have pickles available along with pickled beets. Let's see, milk's available every day. Plenty of that available along with your cheeses. We have both the ale cheddar and then our aged ale cheddar. And these cheeses are getting very special now because we haven't said cheese in a while. So a lot of these cheeses are already getting into like the 4 or 5 year old age process. So they're old, which is really good for cheddars. You know, if you most of the cheddar that you eat, you know, I love Cabot cheese, but most of their cheese is only like 6 months age. You know, 6 months to a year, which is now aged because we did a lot of in 2020 we did a lot of batches of cheese. So it's kind of nice to have. It's really good tasting and it's really good for you, and it's a really good flavored cheese for people that want a little cheese and crackers, or if you want to spice it up and, you know, have a good mac and cheese, throw some of the ale cheddar into your mac and cheese. You know, so many different options to cook and prepare with our food.
And I assume this cheese is from your cows, so it's local.
Yes, it's all, as we said, everything in our farm stand is, I mean, except for minor things like T-shirts and hats. But everything else we've grown here. So.
Good, cool. All right, so right now the stand is still open. What hours?
We're open every day, 9 to 5. We'll be 9 to 5 probably for the rest of October, and then we'll regroup November 1st.
Sure.
But, we're trying to get it closed in so it's a little warmer in there. So hopefully this weekend we get a big crowd and people come and either stock your freezer or eat some fresh veggies all weekend long because we got plenty available.
Sure. Yep. Still some foliage to check out. Even maybe some snow on the White Mountains. I don't know from your vantage point there. Can you see it?
Yes. Last night we had I don't know if everybody else saw it. Probably everybody else saw it, but last night's sunset was one of the best sunsets I've had or seen from here in a long time. And the very end, Moosilauke cleared off, and there's a little bit of white up there. So it was pretty neat to see because I have friends that live out in Utah, and they just got snow at their yard yesterday. So it was kind of the storm that gave them snow at 6,000 feet gave us snow at 4,000 feet.
Okay. Well, here comes winter, right? Let's be prepared.
Yeah, it's coming. It'll get slow down. We got summer coming this weekend, so, it's probably a good weekend to do some barbecue, come get some tomatoes. I think we got ground beef available, have a little party this summer or this weekend. Enjoy the summer weather.
Definitely. All right, so Charlie's going to continue to give us an update for another 3 or 4 weeks, and then we'll roll into doing it once a month through the winter months, all right?
Yeah, so that way we can keep everybody fresh, and then we're still here. We haven't gone anywhere.
Definitely. Charlie, we'll see you next Friday, okay?
See you next Friday. Thanks.
All right, enjoy the weekend. Charlie Greif for the Greif family, Four Corners Farm in South Newbury. 10 minutes after 7's Friday morning. Stephen, John, and friends taking you up to 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock this morning. We began at 6, 3 hours of a lot of conversation with our friends and neighbors here in the listening area. Up next, we'll be checking out the weather, and then a conversation I had yesterday with Lorraine Kennedy. She is the cosmetology instructor at Riverbank Career and Technical Center in Bradford. 11 minutes after 7, we're at 41 degrees. Didn't get quite as cold as what they first had predicted. Temperatures into the mid-50s today. Let's check it out. Compliments of your friends at Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Littleton, home of the big deal. Crosstown wants to buy your vehicle. Demand for used vehicles is at an all-time high, while supply is at an all-time low. What does that mean for you? Your vehicle could be worth thousands more than what you owe or what you own it for. Find out now with their easy appraisal process and get a cash offer today. If you want to get out of your lease early, let them show you how easy it can be and possibly leave with cash in hand. Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat is also by your side whenever you need any car service and repair work done in Littleton.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, any early clouds giving way to sunshine, not as breezy and cool, highs ranging through the 50s, a light northerly breeze. Mostly clear tonight, a few high clouds, lows 20s to near 30, rather frosty, and tomorrow, sun mixing with periods of clouds but milder. Highs upper 50s and low 60s. Still sunshine on Sunday, highs 60s to near 70. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, Mark, thank you. We'll be chatting with him in just a few minutes, shortly after 7:30, right after we take a look at the birthdays and the anniversaries. Right now, though, it is 41 degrees. We do have some clouds, but some warm temps are in the forecast. We'll keep you updated, as we do, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, with our many sponsors and our meteorologists at the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury. Updated weather this time around is brought to you by Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Littleton, home of the big deal.
Celtics practice today, first game not until next Wednesday. This is sort of interesting. Celtic coach Joe Mazzulla changing? General manager Brad Stevens thinks he is.
A lot of time when you have coaching staff changes, you spend getting on the same page, getting on the same message. But when the staff came together, after our season, they said, okay. And when they got back in their meetings in early August, they were like, okay, this is the roster. This is what we need to do to maximize it.
Brad Stevens. Celtics have, get this, 9 assistant coaches. Stevens anxious to see this coaching staff succeed.
But I do think that we've been really clear, from me to Joe to team, everybody in the organization that, we're really excited about this season. We're not going to put a ceiling on anybody.
Celtic General Manager Brad Stevens. Make no mistake about it, this is Joe Mazzulla's team.
Riverbank Career and Technical Center checks in with us every couple of weeks. We chat with the teachers and the instructors. Lorraine Kennedy, who is the instructor of cosmetology, is going to chat with us for the next few minutes. Good morning, Lorraine. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you very much. All right. Let's find out what's happening with the salon. I've heard that it's now open and you're doing haircuts. Is that true?
Yes. We offer more than haircuts. We do colors, perms, manicures, pedicures, and we are open Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 to noon.
Okay. And how many students do you have in cosmetology now, Lorraine?
I have 7 seniors and I have 14 juniors.
Wow, okay. So what's going on with so many hours that they can get now so that once they graduate from Riverbend and graduate from school, they can move right into their profession, I've heard?
Yes. So our program is set up for student success. They complete their hours of licensure training with me within the 2 years that they're with me, and then they take their state boards. We became a testing site, so we do the board testing right in-house, and then if they pass, they can go right into the workforce.
All right, so we're a couple of months into the new school year. Some of the things that maybe have been happening in cosmetology might include what, Lorraine?
So we just finished our skin unit, so students now are able to do facials. Unfortunately, we don't offer them in our salon, but they know how to do them for when they're licensed. And they wrapped up color, so they're able to do that in the salon. And then we're moving on to perms, relaxers, and business.
Okay, and that wraps up the, 2025. Do you change and go into something different after you come back from the holiday break, Lorraine?
Nope, we just start focusing on preparation for life after high school.
Okay, great. All right, so Lorraine Kennedy's with us. She's the cosmetology instructor at Riverbank Career and Technical Center right there in Bradford. All right, some of the other programs that we wanted to focus on this morning might include what?
So the health sciences program has begun their LNA. They do that with Cottage Hospital. And then the heavy equipment and the agriculture class have began their game of logging. And the EMS has been moving forward with their training and some of their CPR first aid certifications happening.
Sure. And before you know it, it'll be the first of the year, and Riverbend will be out there recruiting for the next school year. It comes around in a hurry, doesn't it? Yeah, it comes around in a hurry. So did your class fill up this year, Lorraine? Are anybody on a waiting list? What's it like for your class next year?
Yeah, so we actually had double the amount of applicants that we did for spots. So I could only take 14 this year, and I had 29 applications. So there was quite a wait list. But as of right now, we are still fully booked and have all of our students with us.
Okay, pretty good shape there at Riverbend. All right. You're offering, $5 haircuts for a donation to what?
So if you bring in a food item for the food pantry during the month of November, you can get a $5 haircut, and we're also offering free haircuts for veterans.
Excellent. Right there at Riverbank Career and Technical Center in cosmetology. Let's see, in regards to your class, how do people in the public book themselves in for Monday, Wednesday, or Friday anyway?
So the best way to do that is to email me. I'm really quick at getting back on emails, but they can also call the salon. They just call the school, and they will connect you to me.
Okay, that's pretty easy. All right. Lorraine, final comments might include what today?
If you're interested, please come down. We would love to do services and haircuts on you.
Excellent. There you go. That's perfect. All right. An update from Riverbank Career Technical Center. The last few minutes, we've been chatting with Lorraine Kennedy. She's the instructor of cosmetology at Riverbank. Thanks for your time today.
Yeah, thank you.
And that was the conversation I had with Lorraine yesterday, 18 minutes after 7. As a matter of fact, coming up in a couple of weeks, November 7th, Brad DeGoosh, who is the construction tech instructor at Riverbend, will take a few minutes out of his schedule to chat with me and give us an update as to what's happening at Riverbend Career and Technical Center. 18 minutes after 7, 40 degrees. The weather forecast in just a minute.
So where's the big deal?
Holy schmoly, it's Matt LeCuyer from the Autosaver Group, St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The Drive Into Fall event is happening right now, and we're dropping prices like never before. All 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Big Bore models are now 20% off MSRP. That's savings up to $16,392. Whether you're hauling, towing, or taking on Vermont back roads, the tough and reliable Ram 1500 is ready for anything. You can lease a brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab for just $499 per month for 42 months with zero down. No games, no gimmicks, just real savings on real trucks. And get ready for some serious horsepower. The legendary Raminator monster truck is coming to St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on October 24th and 25th. See it live as it crushes cars and shakes the ground right here at your hometown dealership. St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Vermont comes to drive.
Stock number SJR 25178. Lease is 10,000 miles per year, 30 cents per mile over. Tax, title, registration extra. Must have Stellantis marine lease or non-Stellantis marine vehicle registered in household to qualify. First payment due at signing. MSRP is a price set by the manufacturer and does not necessarily reflect the price paid by consumers.
And a good morning. We're 19 after 7, Friday morning. Stephen, John, and friends. Today is the 17th of October. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks from today is Halloween. And then we head into November. We're taking a look at the weather. Compliments of your friends at Woodsville Power Equipment. They have sales, service, parts, repairs, rental equipment. Their expert advice. Bobcat of Woodsville on the lot. They're open Monday through Friday 8 to 5, Saturday 8 to noon. And 747-2322 is the number. We're transitioning, going through fall right now, heading into winter. Doesn't matter what time of the year it is, they can help you out at Woodsville Power Equipment. And recently, they've added Milwaukee equipment to the huge lineup of equipment they have to offer at Woodsville Power Equipment. Now is the time to get a head start on winter. When you're looking to buy a new snowblower, Woodsville Power Equipment Tool and Rental has the best selection of Husqvarna snowblowers and throwers that can help you with the job at hand. All Husqvarna snowblowers have a two-stage system to help you blow away even deep and heavy snow. To learn more about the dependability of Husqvarna snowblowers and throwers, contact Woodsville Power Equipment Tool and Rental.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, any early clouds giving way to sunshine, not as breezy and cool, highs ranging through the 50s, a light northerly breeze. Mostly clear tonight, a few high clouds, lows 20s to near 30, rather frosty, and tomorrow, sun mixing with periods of clouds but milder, highs upper 50s and low 60s, still sunshine on Sunday, highs 60s to near 70. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thank you very much. It is 7:21. That's Mark Breen, and we'll be chatting with him live shortly after 7:30, right after we check out the local birthdays and anniversaries. At 40 degrees under cloudy skies, updated weather brought to you by Woodsville Power Equipment. Be sure to stop in and see what they have to offer you. Talking about the Husqvarna snowblowers. They also have a good line of Toro and more. And how about mowers? Even though we're heading to the other side of the mowing season, you might want to consider upgrading yours and get a great deal on a mower. As the season gets wrapped up, you'll be all set to get out there and do some mowing and making your lawn look even better with the help of Woodsville Power Equipment. And don't forget, Bobcat of Woodsville is on the lot locally. Stop in, check it out. It is 28 minutes after 7. We're getting set to check out birthdays, anniversaries. But first, a few things that are happening in the listening area, including a winter clothing giveaway with jackets, hats, scarves, mittens, and all the stuff that goes along with winter. Clothing for everyone, all sizes, coming up tomorrow, October 18th. It'll be from 10 to 2. It's downstairs in the North Haverhill United Methodist Church. All right, what else is happening? The penny sale and silent auction coming up tomorrow. Doors open at 9 a.m. Start drawing at about 2. The silent auction bids will stop at 2. And that's at the Orange East Senior Center, Waits River Road, Bradford. Baked goods will be on sale. Lunch will be available. And you do not need to be present to win. And let's see, what else is happening? The Haverhill Historical Society proudly announcing their annual open house at the Ladd Street School tomorrow. It'll be from 10 to 3 in right down there. And a lot of things that are continuing to happen here in the listening area, including, let's see, where did it go? Oh, yeah, the Jazzy's Children Halloween Open House coming up tomorrow. And that will be from 1 to 3 in Groton at the Community Building. Wear your costume. There'll be games, snacks, crafts, and a lot of fun. Some of the things happening here in the listening area and our community events is brought to you by Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. Brandy Lee Bushy, 48 of 18 Terrace Drive in North Haverhill, passed away recently at Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center. Calling hours for Brandy will be Saturday, October 18th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Ricker Funeral Home in Woodsville, with a reception Sunday, October 19th from 1 to 8 p.m. at the Clifford Building in Woodsville. Brandy opened her doors to all, so all are welcomed and encouraged to come share memories with her family. It is 7:30 at Your Country, WYKR, Stephen, John, and Friends. Let's see, we have an hour and a half down, another hour and a half to go. Lots still to come your way. Yeah, we'll take you right up till 9 o'clock. A lot of people we'll be chatting with. Today is Friday. It's October 17th, 2025. A lot of birthdays and an anniversary today, so let's get started. Compliments of your friends at the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford. Happy birthday wishes today to Judy Gandon, to Gene Walker, Harry Simoneau, Lynn Bixby, Teresa Tebow, Susie Bedell-Guilford, Sandy McKean, Scott Schnitzler, and Danny Sweet. All have birthdays today, and our one anniversary is to Jack and Rosemarie Crane. And we hope each and every one of you make it a great day today, and if we missed yours, we hope you make it a great day as well. And we remind you, if you have a birthday or anniversary that you would like on the radio, it's easy. All you have to do is send it to us. We'd like to see it a couple of days in advance, and that way we can be prepared to get your wish on the radio. On this Friday, October 17th, we have happy birthday wishes to Danny Sweet, Scott Schnitzler, Sandy McKean, Susie Bedell-Guilford, Teresa Tebow, Lynn Bixby, Harry Simoneau, Gene Walker, and Judy Gandon. And our happy anniversary wish today is to Jack and Rosemarie Crane. And be sure and thank the Swenson Insurance Agency for bringing you birthdays and anniversaries. And if you need an insurance quote or have insurance questions, they look forward to helping to meet your needs at the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford.
In many areas, wild animals are a serious traffic safety concern. Stay safe with these tips. While driving, scan the road and shoulders of the road ahead. Look for yellow road signs warning of high danger areas. Use extra caution when traveling during dawn and dusk. Animals are most active during these times. At night, use high beams if there's no oncoming traffic. Be on the lookout for reflecting eyes. Remember, deer are herd animals. Where there's one, there's usually more nearby. If a collision is unavoidable, apply the brakes and steer straight. Let up on the brakes just before impact, allowing the front of your vehicle to rise slightly, reducing the risk of the animal striking the windshield. Take it from me and MMG, protecting your piece of the world.
The Swenson Insurance Agency of Bradford is a family-owned business that has been serving Vermont and New Hampshire since 1960. Service is their best policy at the Swenson Insurance Agency, Bradford. All right, it's time to head to St. Johnsbury and say good morning to Mark Breen. How you doing?
I'm doing well, and you?
All right, can't complain. All right, a couple of windy days. Where'd that come from?
Well, we've had, and it's pretty much been an all-week event of sorts. There has been a storm system going back to last weekend, a nor'easter, early season nor'easter down in New Jersey, pounding the coast down there. They had some heavy rain, but more importantly, had winds gusting to 60 miles per hour. So, obviously, the storm had a lot of wind. Well, it never got here, and yet it just kind of drifted out to sea, and then it's been sitting out there. And so storms need kind of two pieces. So, yes, the storm itself has wind, but you also need something to contrast with that. And in other words, low pressure with storm systems contrast to be high pressure, and that's been sitting over the Great Lakes. And the two of them have actually gotten a little closer together starting yesterday, or actually starting the day before, and so that created those gusty winds. It also delivered some pretty chilly weather the last couple of days.
Yeah, it certainly did, but it's going to get warmer today and even warmer tomorrow. We'll get to that in just a minute. First, we've both seen a little white stuff in the White Mountains.
Yeah, a little dusting of snow up there, and of course, this time of year, not necessarily unusual, but it immediately reminded me of this old saying, snow in the mountains, 6 weeks later, snow in the valleys. And, of course, now Mount Washington is pretty extreme as far as that goes, but the whole presidential range, sitting up there above 5,000 feet, they average, Mount Washington averages 19 inches of snow in October. That's the normal. That's the average. And so this year, it's actually running a little bit late. They've only had a half an inch of snow. Well, of course, that can I mean, that's the first half of the month. Second half of the month is more typically when they would see some snow. And while I don't see any snow in the forecast for them over the next few days, we'll see what goes on the next couple of weeks, because it does look like the weather pattern is turning stormier, and, of course, temperatures on the average are cooling off. So, one, we could use the rainfall. That would be good news. But two, we could see some more white stuff up on the mountains.
Sure. All right. So let's talk about the drought just a little bit. We did pick up some more rain this week, but it's not going to give us any reprieve from the drought, is it?
No. So we only, most locations saw between a quarter and a half inch of rain this week. On the average, we get closer to an inch. So, again, we're running below normal once again, just another week. And so there's something called the U.S. Drought Monitor System. And this is, it's a nationwide type of thing. And so they are looking at things not just for the couple of weeks, but really over longer periods of time. So they've classified us in an extreme drought. Actually, we've been that way going back about a month to 6 weeks. But this is what we call a short-term drought. In other words, 6 months or less. And this didn't start until June, so it's not as though we've been dealing with this for a few years. It's just been a matter of months. Not that that makes, the dry wells any better or easier, but just making note that this could easily turn around over the next several months, so we'll be watching that. And something else that we've talked about is that this dry weather promotes some bigger ranges in the temperatures, warmer highs, cooler lows. I was just looking at the records here at the museum for the month of October. We're running 5 degrees above normal for the daytime temperatures, but that included that really warm spell we had at the beginning of the month. Sure. But it also is running almost 3 degrees below average for the night times, because we've had a lot of clear and frosty nights out there. And so the combination means just a bigger range in those temperatures.
Sure. Hey, you think the dry weather has also affected the foliage, Mark?
Yeah, and I've heard from various people, and of course, I've seen it myself. The colors didn't seem to be quite as brilliant this year. They also seem to change kind of quickly. So in other words, all of a sudden it was colorful and all of a sudden it wasn't. I think part of that was the leaves drying up, because they obviously are lacking for moisture. And in addition to that, with the change happening somewhat rapidly, the leaves have gone from on the trees to on the ground. We're back into raking season, or as you mentioned, stick season.
Oh, yeah.
And what's that?
Yeah, really. Really.
Well, and some people, that's kind of disappointing, because it's not winter, so you don't have all those winter activities. It's obviously not the warm weather season, so stick season seems in between. But for me, for those that enjoy hunting, it is getting to be that time of year. So some people are really looking forward to stick season.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people do take to the woods this time of the year. I've noticed when people are talking about a lot of acorns out there. Now, with the drought and the weather the way it has been, and you being an avid person that takes to the woods, do you think the weather and all this is going to affect this year's season?
Well, I think it always does. In this particular case, one of the things that we very rarely have to think about, this is true in other sections of the country where they have to kind of focus in on water sources. Here, water's all over the place, but not this year. So that may affect, animal patterns, not just deer, but, all animals. Obviously, they've got to have water, and so that may affect some of their patterns. I was also surprised that in spite of the drought, the acorns have actually been quite plentiful, and even the apple crop. I heard from a lot of people that said the apples don't seem to be, any smaller this year. It may have had to do with the timing of when this dry weather came in. So it's always interesting every year.
You mentioned time. What about the days? They continue to get shorter, Mark.
Boy, I noticed that the other day. I don't know, I was just doing some things inside, and I said, let me go outside. I've got a couple of things to finish up. And I walked out, and it was like almost dark.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
Seems like it drops out of the sky, doesn't it?
Boy, so, and so this upcoming week, sunsets are going to be before 6 o'clock, and sunrises are already after 7 o'clock. I think by the end of next week, sunrise will be like 7:15 in the morning. So it's going to be late. And in fact, we've kind of passed yet another little marker. It's nothing really that important, but I'm just, I pay attention to how long the days are, and we're now less than 11 hours of daylight. And so, in fact, the sun right now, similar to what it's like in the middle of February. So I kind of give you an idea of how the sun is gradually losing its strength.
Early in the conversation, you kind of mentioned weather pattern is changing. Can you give us a little bit more information on that?
Yeah, so and this time of year, we get cold air that builds up across the North Pole because, for them, there is no sunlight. And so cold is starting to build there. There's still residual warmth, though, especially thanks to the oceans down at our latitude. So you get this collision, warm and cold. You also have more storms coming from the Pacific in. And so the combination means, in this particular case, a lot of changeable weather. So, we've had to, obviously, because of the drought, we've had long stretches of weather. Now I think we're going to see more rapid changes, which is pretty typical for us, and that also is encouraging. I think this is going to go on for at least a couple of weeks. Changeable weather means opportunities for rain, and boy, we could really use that. So that's good news. So we'll keep you posted on that. But right now, it looks like, just for example, next week we'll have one system coming through on Monday, another the middle of the week, maybe another toward the end of the week. So there we could actually see 3 days with some rainfall next week, something that I don't think we've seen since back in May.
All right. And you'll be with us next Friday to give us an update as to maybe what happened and what we'll be looking forward to again.
Well, maybe not.
Okay.
I think I'm going to do a little hunting
All right,
next
you're going to have a pinch hitter next Friday. All right, we look forward to that.
Yes.
I'm glad I mentioned it. All right, Mark, a pretty decent day in tomorrow, so let's find out what the weekend does look like then.
Yeah, so there are still a few clouds in places, but those are all shrinking, so we'll call it sunny and not as breezy and cool as the past couple of days. The winds will finally relax a little bit in the 50s this afternoon, a very pleasant afternoon. Mainly clear tonight, be a frosty night out there, 20s to near 30, and sunshine tomorrow kicking off the weekend. There'll be some clouds filtering through at times, but all in all, nice day tomorrow, upper 50s and low 60s, and then we get to Sunday, still lots of sunshine. Still on the warm side, in fact, even warmer, 60s to near 70. We do get some rain and showers on Monday.
We'll take that's a pretty decent weekend of weather right there.
There you go.
All right, enjoy, and we'll speak with you in a couple, 3 weeks then.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, good luck and stay safe.
All right. Yep, thanks.
Mark Breen, Fairbanks Museum, our meteorologist today, and our information is brought to you by Hatchland Farm, Wicked Good Dairy Delights, Profile Meats, right there, Route 10 North Haverhill. At Hatchland Farm, Wicked Good Dairy Delights, located on Route 10 in North Haverhill, they will continue with a monthly community lunch in the event hall beginning again for the fall and winter months, Wednesday morning, October 22nd from 11 to 2, or sell out, no reservation needed, with takeout orders taken at the store. This month's menu is made and served in the event hall. Enjoy stuffed chicken, potato, veggies, bread, beverage, and dessert with coffee. It's a great time to gather friends, family, and co-workers at Hatchland Farm, Wicked Good Dairy Delights in North Haverhill. In Wells River, you'll find Tuttle's Family Diner serving spaghetti with meat sauce and garlic bread today. Also, the Montshire Farm Mushroom Swiss Burger with French fries or tater tots. How about a haddock sandwich with chips and pickle or a seafood salad roll? They also have homemade mac and cheese with a couple of hot dogs and a side. Their soup is minestrone, and it looks like they have all seafood on board today. That includes the haddock, the scallops, shrimp, strip clams, and whole belly clams. Tuttle's Family Diner, downtown Wells River. You can order these specials or from the regular menu when you enjoy your next meal at Tuttle's. All right, the weather this time around is being brought to you by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. You can visit them online at barharbor.bank. Award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. And then we'll be chatting with Ted Cooper at Wells River Chevrolet.
Bar Harbor Bank and Trust helps businesses succeed. We're proud to be recognized by Forbes and Newsweek as one of America's best banks multiple years running. We can help you get the financing you need quickly and improve your cash flow. With over 50 branches and 90 ATMs across northern New England, we make managing your business easier. Whether your business is growing, expanding, or evolving, we can make it happen together. Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Good things happen when we work together. Member FDIC.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, any early clouds giving way to sunshine, not as breezy and cool, highs ranging through the 50s, a light northerly breeze. Mostly clear tonight, a few high clouds, lows 20s to near 30, rather frosty, and tomorrow, sun mixing with periods of clouds but milder, highs upper 50s and low 60s, still sunshine on Sunday, highs 60s to near 70. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thank you. We're right around 40 degrees still, and that's the updated weather. It's brought to you by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. You can visit them online at barharbor.bank. Award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. As we promised, Ted Cooper, good morning.
And good morning to you. Did I hear Mark say near 70 on Sunday?
He sure did, but there is some rain in the forecast next week.
Both of which are highly welcome.
Yeah, good for your weather.
No question about it.
Mm-hmm.
Our little spring, for some reason, is continuing to supply our house minimally, but at least it hasn't dried up completely like it did in other years. I have no idea why.
Good for you.
But we'll take it.
Yeah.
So anyway, down here at Wells River Chevrolet, we've got some extremely good special offers right now. How about a 2025 half-ton Silverado LT crew cab with up to $10,000 off MSRP? You get $10,000 off if you trade your 2011 or newer Chevy, and even if you don't trade, you still get a whole bunch off. And let us know your needs. Remember, it's the bottom line that counts after trades and so forth. It's not where the MSRP begins. And we also have new 26s with already with $7,500 off with these offers clearly marked. So, why wait? Also got a couple of 2,500 crew LTs, Trail Bosses, in fact, with the awesome 6.6-liter engine and the unbeatable Allison 10-speed transmission. And those have $3,500 off right now. Everybody qualifies, and it's really unheard of to have any sort of big rebates on the 2,500s. So keep that in mind. What else we got? We do have the largest supply of 2,500s in the area, and they're ready for whatever nature and your job site might throw at you. And I even had a couple of little snowflakes early yesterday morning as I was heading into work. So I guess they got a little bit up on Mount Washington as well.
That is true. That is true.
It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming despite this beautiful fall weather we've had. So check out our selection of new SUVs, including an awesome Radiant Red Suburban High Country Diesel. Totally top of the line. The king, or should I say the queen of the road, or even a slightly smaller Tahoe High Country, beautifully equipped. Everybody knows how beautifully these things ride.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally got a bunch of 26 Equinoxes here, which continue to be our best-selling midsize SUVs. They're all-wheel drive with a push button, so they're front-wheel drive until you need the all-wheel drive. And we even have a hard-to-find Traverse Z71. Those have been extremely, extremely rare. And we got a bunch of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. They're ready to go with low, below-market sale prices. And I should remind you that all of our vehicles include the unique benefits of the Autosaver Group's Big Deal Plus at no additional charge, which include lifetime state inspections. And what else we got? Oh, yeah, here's a community service note from our friends over at Above the Notch Humane Society. Want to point out to dog and cat owners, especially those with puppies, that there's been a kind of a recent outbreak of the nasty parvo virus in the region. That's a nasty one, especially for young dogs. Anyway, check your vax certificates, call your vet, or look into some vaccination clinics, because there's one coming up next Saturday, the 25th, at Tractor Supply in Littleton from 11 to 1. Again, that's at Tractor Supply in Littleton. There are screenings and all kinds of different possibilities for vaccinations. Make sure they're up to date. And anyway, other than that, everybody have a wonderful weekend. We're open here, of course, today, and then tomorrow we'll be here from 9 to 4, ready to help you out. We got a great array of inventory right now, and we're here to help you with whatever your needs may be.
Right there, Wells River Chevrolet. Ted Cooper, of course, is the Senior Sales and Leasing Professional and also GM Mark of Excellence Award winner. Ted, we always look forward to your update every couple of weeks. You stay safe, all right?
Well, thank you. I look forward to it, too. All righty. Bring on some rain, though, okay?
There you go. We're working on it.
All right.
Make it a great day, Ted.
You too.
Thank you. Ted Cooper, Wells River Chevrolet. Be sure to stop in, say hello to Ted and the rest of the gang when you're traveling through right here in Wells River. We're going to take a break for a minute or so. We'll be updating you on the weather forecast for all of Northeast Vermont, Northwest New Hampshire, right after these. 7:53, 40 degrees. Let's take a look at that weather forecast. Compliments of your friends at Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care in Woodsville, which is locally owned, family operated. The staff members, they are caring and experienced professionals who understand that each family is unique and has personal requests and traditions. For additional information, you could call them at 603-747-2717, or you can also visit their website, rickerfh.com. Most of us are not prepared to plan and carry out a funeral ceremony when a loved one passes. Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care in Woodsville understands the importance of a meaningful and personalized funeral to assist with the healing process during mourning. Their licensed funeral directors know the key decisions a grieving family must make. They will take the time to assist you with the necessary and required legal documentation and handles all of the details to create a unique and meaningful funeral or memorial service for your loved one. For additional information, contact Ricker Funeral Home in Woodsville.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, any early clouds giving way to sunshine, not as breezy and cool, highs ranging through the 50s, a light northerly breeze. Mostly clear tonight, a few high clouds, lows 20s to near 30, rather frosty, and tomorrow, sun mixing with periods of clouds but milder, highs upper 50s and low 60s, still sunshine on Sunday, highs 60s to near 70. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thanks, Mark. That's the weather. The time is 7:54. The temperature's 41 degrees. And that is a look at the weekend weather. It's brought to you by Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care. And for additional information, it's 603-747-2717, or they are online at rickerfh.com.
Bruins, not very good last night at Las Vegas. Golden Knights 6, Bruins 5, first period tied at 2. Second period, Golden Knights take the lead for good. Bruins coach Marco Sturm.
The mistakes we made over and over again, that's how we not want to play that way. We don't want to play back and forth. We don't want to play way too many goals against and easy breakdowns.
Marco Sturm. In the Bruins goal, Jeremy Swayman outstanding, but Bruins defense low level. David Pasternak.
I see crazy scores all the time, you know. Do we want that? No, not really. But, you know, at the same time, the season is so long that this kind of game is going to happen. You know, it's just we have to make sure we are on the better side of it. Obviously, we don't want to give up 5 goals, and it's, you know, hard to win in this week.
Pasternak did score a goal. Golden Knights 6, Bruins 5. Follow me, Tom Cuddy Sports.
We're just about ready to check the weather here at your country. WYKR Haverhill, WTWN Wells River, W286DE Wells River, 105.1 FM. Being brought to you by Alarmco, which is a security and protection company based in Bradford. And they specialize in home and business security, fire systems, video surveillance, safes, audio-visual equipment, and more, like networking and phone systems. In addition to installation services, Alarmco also provides monitoring and repair services for a wide variety of systems. Let's listen. Protect the things that matter with the help of Alarmco, a security and protection company based in Bradford. Manage your lights and temperature settings with automated schedules. Create easy rules to have an added layer of smart automation based on system activity. Unlike traditional systems that only alert you in an alarm event, Alarmco lets you know what's happening at your property at any time. It's easy to set your own alerts and reminders to be notified of any activity you care about. For a free no-obligation quote and see what Alarmco can do for you, visit their website at alarmcovt.com.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, any early clouds giving way to sunshine, not as breezy and cool, highs ranging through the 50s, a light northerly breeze. Mostly clear tonight, a few high clouds, lows 20s to near 30, rather frosty, and tomorrow, sun mixing with periods of clouds but milder, highs upper 50s and low 60s, still sunshine on Sunday, highs 60s to near 70. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thank you, Mark. Coming up 6 minutes after 8, it's 42 degrees. And updated weather this time round is brought to you by Alarmco. You can stay notified on what's going on in your home or business even when you are away. Connect your security, lights, locks, thermostats, video, and more for seamless automation and control. Contact them today for a free, no-obligation quote, and also see what they can do for you. Alarmco, locally owned, locally operated in Bradford. Still coming up this hour, a conversation I had yesterday with Todd Holt, the local physical therapist in downtown Wells River, about the upcoming arm wrestling competition going on. Then we'll chat with Ryan Chase, the owner of Valley Floors. Conversation I had a couple of days ago with Bob Yaroshevich from Wild Vermont Customs, Wise Enterprises. And then it is the third Friday of the month. We'll be chatting with our guests from Plentitude PR, and that will include Jessica Jones-Hughes and also Dan Greif, who will be joining us shortly after 8:30 this morning. And, of course, the Business Spotlight is brought to you each and every month by Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank.
Outdoor Almanac, brought to you by New Hampshire Fish and Game's Wildlife Journal.
On previous editions of Outdoor Almanac, I've talked about tree stand safety and getting landowner permission. I want to press this point again so that you're prepared in the field if a conservation officer checks your stand. Some hunters still think they only need permission if a stand is permanently attached to the tree. That's not entirely true. Anytime you insert anything into the bark of a tree, like a nail, a hook to hang your bow or pack, or screw in steps, or if your stand will damage the tree, you need written permission. Plus, if you decide to trim a few tree branches to get a good shooting lane, then you need written landowner permission. Same thing applies if you're setting up a ground blind and you need to do some pruning. We all want to make our first shot count. That's fine. Just get permission. Scouting, sighting in, and a little paperwork. All part of hunting for some of us.
Outdoor Almanac is brought to you by New Hampshire Fish and Game's Wildlife Journal, the magazine for people with outside interests.
We are so fortunate to have Todd Holt, who is our local physical therapist, to chat with us every 4 or 5 weeks, find out what's happening at his office, which is right here in downtown Wells River. Morning.
Hey, good morning, Steve. How you doing today?
Good. All right, this is a pre-recorded piece, but Todd is actually live in our studio today. Hey, that's so good. That's cool.
Usually it's always fun to get up here. It's hard to get up here sometimes. So even though I'm like right next door.
Busy schedule.
So it fills up.
So our topic today is going to be arm wrestling. But before we get to that, let's just find out what's happening at your office. What's been going on the last few weeks?
Well, so we have a massage therapist now. He's from Thailand. His name's Michael Ferentz. So far, everybody that's worked with him has really liked his work.
Good.
He worked on my back a little while back. I had a herniated disc, and my back's great now.
Excellent.
But you know, there was one day I got there on a Friday going, oh man, I'm in so much pain. And he showed up. He didn't have a client. And put me on the table and worked on my back and got me through the day.
Good.
So
can do the same for our listeners.
That's right. Yeah, and he listens to everything you say, and he can do more aggressive massage, lighter massage, feel good massage, or he can say, you want massage that make you feel good or make you better.
So when you do a massage, you don't have to go through your primary. You just book it directly in with you?
Yeah, because it's self-pay, so
Okay.
we don't have to go through a referral process and all that. And he's actually technically a separate business, so he uses my office.
All right. Our topic today is arm wrestling. And how did you get into this before we find out what's...
What an odd sport for a physical therapist, something that
Kinda.
people break arms, tear tendons. Jeez, you know. Yeah. Hey, watch where you go. There's good ones and bad ones everywhere.
True. All right, so how did you get into it, Todd?
So how to get into it? You know, going to the gym all the time. My buddy Chris Couch and we were lifting, trying to get higher PRs for the 3 main lifts: bench, squat, and deadlift and stuff like that. You get to a certain point where you plateau. You can't get any farther. And the funny thing about this is the difference between arm wrestling and lifting or any sport, trying to look better, things like that. You get these plateaus, but in arm wrestling, there's people up in their 80s. There's even a guy who's close to 90 in Manchester, New Hampshire, at this Granite Arms group. This guy would totally smoke me on the table.
Really?
Yeah, and I think he's 90, or if he's not 90, he's like 88.
All right, so we'll get more into that in just a moment. So you got an event coming up at the Clifford Building in Woodsville. When?
So it's going to be next Friday. It's going to be the 25th. I'm sorry, Saturday. Oh, God.
Saturday?
Yep, Saturday the 25th.
Okay,
and
got it.
It's at the Clifford Building. There are going to be Halloween events. There's going to be stuff for kids. There will be kids polling, by the way, and the kids will obviously be free. So we won't charge for youth entries.
All right. Now, you have people that come from long distances to do this.
Absolutely. There's a guy coming from down south. I think he's like North Carolina or Virginia, something like that. There's one guy coming up there with probably one or two of his friends. There's people that come from like Springfield, Mass area, the Boston. There's people that come from northern Maine, mid-Maine. There's one group. I know there's one group in like northern Maine area that's like 7 hours away or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's people come from over in the New York State area. I think they're about 5-6 hours away. Manchester, New Hampshire is a huge group called Granite Arms. They'll be there. Vermont Power is a group up in northern Vermont. Borderline Arms is a group up in like Swanton area. There's also a group over in Hardwick area. They'll bring over some people too. So
our listeners don't realize what a big deal arm wrestling actually is then. And it's a growing sport, Todd.
It's a huge growing sport. And if any of you watch YouTube videos, you've all watched Devin Larrett, and he's super fun to watch. He's super motivated, really good, and he's also, it can be kind of comical. And I think that also draws a lot of attention. When we were just pulling, me and my buddy, doing some pulling here and there, next thing you know, we got one more person want to join. A couple Woodsville high school kids joined us. They're really good, by the way. So,
are there age groups for this event?
Yep. So there is age groups. It's if you do a tournament and it's youth, it's by age. But most of the groups separated by weight. So I tend to pull in the 198 weight class. Bigger people get up to like 220 weight class. There's also light people, below 156. So you can be light, and you don't have to be 6'9" and 350 pounds to be able to arm wrestle.
All right. What are the rules?
So there's rules. They have regulated tables, and we have 4 of those tables. You weigh in, and then after that, they'll just call your name and you pull. You have to set up, and then when you go, if you do anything like I don't want to say cheating, but if you screw up, you can get called fouls. 2 fouls usually result in a loss.
What would a foul be?
A foul would be like jump starting, going early. Last tournament I went to over in Manchester a couple weeks ago. I didn't try to, but they said ready, go, and I went too quick. And so I got fouled. Even though I won, I still got a foul. And the next time I was careful not to go
What
early.
is there a technique?
There's tons of technique. That's why
everybody has their own?
Yeah, me being a little bit shorter, I would do different things than my buddy Chris, who's super tall. So there's some advantages of each, too. There is advantage of being taller, and there's advantage of being shorter.
Okay.
So there's one kid in our group is super short, and he is like a monster. So he's really, really, really hard.
So hopefully we got some listeners that are going to be participating in your event coming up. But maybe there are people listening that would like to be a spectator because they eventually might want to participate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how's that work, Todd?
You can come in and there's no charge to be a spectator. So
Okay.
you could absolutely come to the Clifford Building on the 25th, Saturday, and spectate and watch. A lot of people do come just to spectate. And by the way, there's amateur class and pro class, so you don't have to be really good to jump in. If you're pretty good, but you're not gone to competitions, had first place winnings and things like that, then you're going to jump in the amateur class.
Todd, how often do you go to an event?
I've gone to a couple this year. I actually had a little bit of a shoulder issue that was kind of just nagging, so I didn't want to risk it and do a tournament.
So how do you
I've gone to 2 this year. Some of the kids in our groups have gone to probably 10.
How do you train for it then if you're only going periodically?
Oh, so every Friday evening, and this is where the listeners might want to, every Friday evening after 5 o'clock, people come down to the office and they pull. And I don't charge anything. I don't want anybody to ever have to pay to come participate. There's some kids that come too from mostly Woodsville. A couple of Blue Mountain kids have come down. So
this is usually on a
it's free.
Friday night at your office in Wells River.
Yeah, it looks like we're partying, but we're not partying.
From what time?
5 o'clock usually to about 8 o'clock.
Cool.
Yep,
right.
every Friday.
Good to know.
We don't, even if I'm not around that Friday, I'll unlock the doors for some. We tend to during the summer pull outside on it's Breezeway, and during the winter we tend to pull inside.
Are you amateur or pro?
I mostly pulled amateurs. I've done a couple pro classes, and I went to one up in Morrisville, and these kids, you think, geez, I could outlift them in the gym, and you go up to the table, some scrawny kid goes up, whack, oh my God, I just
really
lost.
No kidding.
Yeah,
So,
that was a humbling day.
Yeah, I'll bet it was.
Yeah, what's going on?
Wow. So arm wrestling.
So it's super fun. It's super technique, and you can think that you can beat somebody and look at them and think, I got this, and just get totally humbled.
Kind of like never judge a book by its cover.
Oh my God, that's so much the sport.
Interesting. All
Well,
right.
you jump on the table with an 88-year-old man that doesn't look like, and then he wallops you.
Yeah.
You say, whoa.
Wow. Humbling. Wow. It sounds exciting. Wrestling, the event is going to be at the Clifford Building Saturday the 25th. From when to when?
It'll be, so weigh-ins will be around 9 o'clock, but people won't start pulling probably till around 12 or 1 for arm wrestling.
Right. Good. If you just want to be a spectator, no charge, come on down, check it out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Come on down. No charge to come spectate.
Interesting. Thanks for the update.
Awesome.
Yep. If you need more information, check in with Todd Holt, the local physical therapist right here in downtown Wells River on Maple Street.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a minute and check in with Ryan Chase, the owner of Valley Floors. Are you an arm wrestler, Ryan?
The previous segments to our talks have been funny the last couple of weeks. I am not an arm wrestler, and I often get my arm handed to me by my 15-year-old son whenever I dare say, fine, I'll arm wrestle you again.
Okay.
He is quite the arm wrestler. I am not.
Awesome. That's good to hear. A lot of techniques involved with it. It's a interesting conversation that we had with Todd Holt. And we have interesting conversations with Ryan Chase right there at Valley Floors. All right, what's up your sleeve this week?
I realized that I wanted to talk about the fact that we self-level floors. I don't know that we've ever talked about it, but it's something that we do quite often, and our listeners probably aren't aware of it. And it's not something residentially a lot of times that folks get into, but what I'm referring to is it's a cementous mix. It's actually, if in layman terms, it's really thin, loose, runny cement. And over a concrete floor or a non-porous floor, we have the ability and the ineptitude, mechanical ability to flow this cementous material over the floor. And when it dries and cures, you have a nice, flat, level, smooth, cementous surface to work with, which is wonderful because a lot of times in old homes or with renovations and additions, you have different floor heights and they slope to one side, or they're, if you had ceramic tile down and you've chipped it up and you've got most of it up, but some of it just won't come up and you can't get it up. There's lots of different purposes that we use it, but in those situations, again, we do and often have been, as of late, doing this treatment, floor treatment, and it's really cool. It's just a way that we can fairly inexpensively come in and self-level a floor, and in a matter of 6 or 8 hours, when we leave, the floor is actually dry. You can walk on it, and it's flat, level, and smooth.
All right. Yeah, and that would take professionals at Valley Floors to be able to do that.
Yeah, it does. It does. It brings me back. I remember my first time doing it, gosh, it was 20 plus years ago at my brother's house. And I thought I knew what I was doing. I kind of did know what I was doing, but I was a novice. I was a rookie,
right.
And there was holes in the floor that I did not know about. Again, it was an old house, and there was cracks in the subfloor that I didn't know about, and I kept adding the material and adding the material and adding the material, and I'm like, something is wrong, finally. And he and I both went downstairs, and we were like, aha, that's the problem. Ooh. And it was all running down through these cracks. But so anyway, yes, it's not something that folks want to try. And the material is fairly expensive, and you've got to have the right tools. But again, we've got it figured out. We've got a couple of people on staff that are great at it. And it used to be something that we were kind of afraid of because we didn't do it a lot, but we've done it an awful lot now with great success. And again, there's it's not necessary in every application, but if folks have a quirky floor or a funny situation, or they're not quite sure what to do, it's a great way to again create a nice, smooth, cementous surface. And the big advantage to that is that you can do it early on, and then you have a nice, flat, smooth surface to work on, to do your renovations, to do your additions, so that everything is flat and level, and you can build on top of that. And then when it comes time to install your floor covering, again, you've got a floor that's already prepared and ready for virtually any type of material, because you can put ceramic tile back down onto it, you can put carpet or vinyl, whatever you want to, and it's nice and flat and level and ready to accept anything. Because that's another problem when you've got adhesives and different flooring. The adhesives have to be applicable to, they have to be compatible with whatever the material is that you're going over. And sometimes if we don't know what that is, there's concerns about, we don't know about if this adhesive is right for this. But when we do this material, again, it's essentially a very thin cement. This bonds to anything, and then whatever we put on top of that is going to bond and cure to it. So it's a nice way to get great insurance that going forward everything is going to be a fail-safe application.
Yeah, and no limitations to what floor level and what you can apply that to prepare?
Well, I would never say no limitations. Yeah,
Okay.
There is a significant limitation in that you can only build it up so much. The way that this material is engineered, they say different materials vary, but there's a quarter of an inch or so. You can only go so thick with each pour.
Right.
So you can get around it by doing several pours, but that can get expensive over time. But in most applications, we're able to do it in one pour and get if we can't get it 100% satisfactory, we can get it awful close so that it's workable, and then afterwards add to it again. So yes, there are no limitations. Well, no, there are some limitations, but we are aware of those, and there are workarounds that we can figure out.
Yeah.
So
As many conversations we've had doing this every week for however many years and however many times, I don't think we've ever talked about this.
I think you're right. There hasn't been a big project specifically that came to mind, but it's just again something that we have been doing a lot more of lately, and thought that our listeners should know about it.
Yeah.
Again, it's not most folks probably will never need it in their home, but for the contractors out there or for somebody that has a unique situation, again, we do have the ability to do this, and we can talk you through it, and it's just another option that we can offer you.
Certainly. The other thing is, a couple of weeks from today's Halloween, we head into November, holiday season. What about gift cards at Valley Floors?
We do a brisk business in gift cards. It's a great idea for that person that is hard to buy for or that may be planning a flooring project. They never expire. They're any nomination. We can help you out with that. We can gift Debbie's around. She's great at coming up with cool ideas to wrap them up for you, and we can handle all of that for you. So, yes, gift certificates are always in season at Valley Floors, and again, they never expire. It's a great idea.
Certainly. All right. Final comments today might include what?
I think that will do it. Again,
Awesome.
Halloween season is coming. Sports are wrapping up. Playoff soccer is happening. If you haven't been around, you should catch a game in the next couple of days because we've got some good soccer going on.
Definitely. All right. Thanks for the update. Interesting stuff you bring to our listeners every week. We look forward to our next conversation with you.
As do I. Hope everyone has a great weekend.
Thanks, Ryan.
Bye-bye.
Right. Ryan Chase, owner of Valley Floors Bradford, weekly update, 23 minutes after 8. I'm Stephen John. We take it at 9 o'clock. Still coming up, conversation ahead with Bob Yaroshevich, Wild Vermont Customs. And then we head into our monthly feature, heard the third Friday of the month, shortly after 8:30, brought to you by Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. It's the Business Spotlight on Plenitude PR. We'll have Jessica Jones-Hughes and Dan Greif in with us in just a few minutes right here at Your Country, WYKR. Meanwhile, another update on the weather forecast. We're sitting at 43 degrees at 23 minutes after 8. It's being brought to you by PTO's Repair in Bradford, your local Fisher authorized dealer. Fisher Plows, Fisher Sanders. Make sure you talk with Paul. Do it soon. PTO's Repair in Bradford, 802-222-4774.
PTO's in Bradford wants you to know.
Fisher is introducing a new plow for pickups. The XRS Automatic Wing Plow provides the efficiency and performance of a wing plow, but it's as simple to operate as a straight blade. All of the performance with the touch of a button. Stop by and check it out. PTO's Repair, South Main Street, Bradford, or ptosrepair.com. I'm PTO, and I wanted you to know.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, any early clouds giving way to sunshine, not as breezy and cool, highs ranging through the 50s, a light northerly breeze. Mostly clear tonight, a few high clouds, lows 20s to near 30, rather frosty, and tomorrow, sun mixing with periods of clouds but milder, highs upper 50s and low 60s, still sunshine on Sunday, highs 60s to near 70. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And compliments of PTO's Repair in Bradford. Fisher authorized dealer, Fisher Plows, Fisher Sanders, getting you prepared for the winter months as we speak right now. And Paul will be joining us shortly after 6:30 in just a few weeks, each and every Friday morning during the winter months to keep us up to date as to what's happening with Fisher Plows and Fisher Sanders, located locally and online at ptosrepair.com. PTO's Repair, Fisher authorized dealer. Fisher Snowplows and Fisher Sanders. We're 25 minutes after 8 and 43 degrees. We welcome Bob Yaroshevich to our airwaves again as Bob chats with us every couple of weeks to give us an update as to what's going on with his couple of businesses, which are Wise Enterprises and Wild Vermont Customs. You've been busy.
We've been busy. How are you?
I'm good. So tell us about Wise Enterprises. What do you got for projects there, and what is Wise Enterprises?
Wise Enterprises is basically a company for commercial industrial companies. We do mostly food and beverage plants and food and beverage equipment, but we do have a couple of customers that aren't food and beverage. We have a giant customer. It's a wire and cable customer, and we do a lot for them. But right now, we're in the process of building 2 for our distillery project. So we're not building the distillery building this year. I had to go last week and unload all the distilling equipment, put into storage. We're building building 2 first, which is going to have all the grain cleaning equipment and a bakery. And that'll also become our barrel storage. And we've got barrels that are in the works already being made for aging the whiskey. So they're being stored off-site. That has to be rented space. So we need to get that building up and get our barrels moved in.
Barrels made of what?
They're oak barrels.
Where are they
full
sourced?
Of whiskey.
Where are they sourced?
Most of them come out of New York State.
Where their wine?
That we get them.
Previously had wine?
Oh, no, these are brand new.
Oh, brand new, okay.
Yep.
And then you mentioned bakery for the public or their in-house bakery?
It's going to be for the public.
Okay.
It's also going to be, selling breads, specialty breads at hopefully like City Market and some places like that.
This is in the Champlain Valley over there?
Yep, it's in the Champlain Valley down in Ferrisburg.
Okay.
People will also be able to stop in and pick up bread and different things.
Big project then.
It is, and we're finally broke ground. Frost walls are all in. It's being backfilled right now, so been spending a lot of time on that project.
So how many outfits at that level do you actually work with in Vermont, in New Hampshire, or New England, or worldwide?
Oh, well over 100, I think.
Okay, so that's the Wise Enterprises part.
It is,
which is more commercial industrial.
Yep.
Wild Vermont Customs is what?
Well, Vermont Customs is more for the average person. We do custom work. We do hydro dip and powder coat and fabrication work and painting and just kind of all kinds of things for the common person.
Mm-hmm.
Hunters, we can make plaques. We dip skulls. So hydro dip skulls look awesome. They give you a kind of a different look and substantially cheaper than having to do a full mount.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good way to go. We do like gun stocks. We'll hydro dip or we'll paint gun stocks and things like that. Now that it's hunting season, people that are lucky enough to get something this year, they can certainly come talk to us and we can come up with something for them. We do some metal cutout kind of plaques that you can put your Euro mount skull on, or just even just a plaque just to kind of commemorate the shot and the material, whoever you got. So
some people want to customize their vehicles, whatever that might be. They can pull some of those certain parts off from there, and you can dip them or blast them and even repaint them.
Yeah,
depending what they are.
Yeah, powder coat. We're actually in the process right now of doing kind of a resto mod on I think it's a 1975 Argosy camper, which is Argosies are kind of like the seconds for Airstream. So if the panels are scratched and can't be polished out to be the nice bright Airstream, they go over and they get labeled as an Argosy and they get painted.
Oh.
So a friend of mine bought one and wants to kind of maybe start a business with us. Not that I need more, but kind of join as a partner and redo these campers for sale. There's a big market for them. So we're doing his right now. We've lifted the frame. We're just put much bigger tanks in. Got all the tanks are going to be underneath. It's going to be winter capable.
Oh, when you find time for this.
So
you also get your trailer barbecue pit thing, whatever you head at the North Havel Fair, whatever you call that thing.
Yeah, the smoker on wheels. That's
yeah,
that's getting getting to the point where we're going to have to start using the smoker part really heavy because it's almost time for us to slaughter pigs and make bacon.
Yeah. And so people, our listeners, and you realize there's a lot of things you can do for them. The layperson, weekend warriors, mom and dad, grandma and dad, whatever the case may be. But there's a lot you can do for them. And I don't think our listeners really realize all the potential that's right here locally that you can do for them.
Yeah, and old Harley repairs.
That's true. Yeah,
we've got that set. We can change CV boots on ATVs and things like that. Where if you go to manufacturer, they're going to tell you have to replace the whole jack shaft. We usually just pull them out, change the boot, put a boot on, and pack it with grease, put it back together.
A lot more. A lot more cost effective too.
Yeah, much more cost effective, and as long as you catch them early enough, it'll last you forever.
Yeah,
until you tear a boot again.
Located where? People need to know that you are easy to access and get to.
Yeah, we're right in East Reigate.
Okay.
If you head up Route 5, head up East Road, heading into Reigate Corner, we're right on the right.
Of course, you raise a lot of your own livestock. Gabe's not with us today, but he had some success doing some hunting.
Yeah, Gabe got his buck this year. Right. He took his buck over to Farquharson's taxidermy. He's going to do what's called a pack mount. He hasn't had a buck in a long time, so this was an exciting one for him. So he's doing a pack mount. Once it's done, we'll post some pictures of that too.
Yeah, good for him. Because Gabe sometimes pinch hits for you and does an awesome job. Does a great job. He knows your business.
He does, and he's back working. I'm down talking today, so
that's good. All right, so Facebook page, best place to go to contact you.
Yeah, definitely start on Facebook. Message me there, and then we can meet up or whatever we need to do after that.
All right, so we'll do this again in a couple weeks. It looks like maybe Halloween.
Joy.
There you go. All right, Bob Yaroshevich join us for the last few minutes as he does every couple of weeks. Wild Vermont Customs, Wise Enterprises. Be sure to check him out on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll be there.
And Bob checks in with us every couple of weeks. We'll look forward to that. It'll be the Halloween update from Bob. 8:32, we're sitting around 43 degrees, still under cloudy skies, but sunshine is in the forecast. We'll get to that momentarily. Do want to remind you, coming up, Wells River Savings Bank sponsored Business Spotlight, so be sure to stick around for that. Right now, though, we're taking a break, checking out the weather. Compliments of House Right Construction right there in Newbury. How do you define home? Is it your sanctuary? A reflection of your style and values? A playground for your children and grandchildren? However you define it, House Right Construction can help you create the house that says, welcome home to you. House Right is your expert Vermont and New Hampshire home builder. They have been partnering with clients since 1985. They build and renovate homes that fulfill their clients' exact visions. House Right Construction is proud to be able to say that the foundation of their business continues to be their enduring relationships with clients who return to them as their home visions grow and who refer them to their friends. Try letting House Right be the builder of the home of your dreams. Welcome home with House Right. House Right Construction, Main Street South, Newbury, Vermont. Online at houseright.net.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, any early clouds giving way to sunshine, not as breezy and cool, highs ranging through the 50s, a light northerly breeze. Mostly clear tonight, a few high clouds, lows 20s to near 30, rather frosty, and tomorrow, sun mixing with periods of clouds but milder, highs upper 50s and low 60s, still sunshine on Sunday, highs 60s to near 70. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, there you go. Updated weather. It's 8:34 for all of Northeast Vermont, Northwest New Hampshire, the Upper Connecticut River Valley. Compliments of House Right Construction just down the street from the historic Newbury Common. All right, it is time for our Business Spotlight, third Friday of the month, shortly after 8:30. It's brought to you by your friends at Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. Plentitude, is that what we want to call it?
Plenitude, yes.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you very much. Jessica Jones-Hughes. And who did you bring along with you this time around?
I brought Dan Greif with me.
All right.
Co-pilot.
All right. Co-pilot. All right. So let's find a little bit of background. Let's start with you, Jessica, first. Where'd you come from and what brought you here?
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, first of all, for having us here.
You're welcome.
We're excited to share with you all this morning a little bit more about Plenitude. So I grew up in Colorado and
Cool.
went to school in Ohio and then grad school in Boston, and worked in Boston for about 10 years with an organization called Equal Exchange. In about 2009, I met Plenitude. I met the founders actually before they had any organization. It was just the vision and the idea, and I went down to visit them and just fell in love with what they were doing, and stayed in touch over the years that we were in Boston, and then in 2020 we moved down to Puerto Rico.
Really?
And supported the organization full time, and then a couple years ago came to Vermont and started to help the launch of the project here.
How about you, Dan?
Yeah, so Jessica and I are not only co-pilots, we're also spouses. I'm a clinical psychologist by training, but one of my interests and something I found when I'm doing psychotherapy is that a lot of the problems that make people depressed, anxious, lonely can't just be solved through talk therapy. It's solved through your community. It's solved by feeling supported, feeling nurtured. It's solved by having good self-care practices and eating good food, and that Plenitude was really doing all of those things. And I was seeing the positive impacts on the community's mental health and all the individuals who spent time there, and it made me really want to be more involved in the organization.
Cool. All right, that gives us a good segue. The organization, Plenitude. So what is it? How did it start? Give us a little history, and who both of you should chime in on this, I guess, because you're both pretty involved. Dan, I guess?
Sure. Well, so I have to start in the rural mountains of western Puerto Rico in 2008, that's where Plenitude was started. It really started at the time without any money, not even with land, just a sort of dream of serving three pillars: service, sustainability, and community. We have a demonstration farm and a nonprofit down there, where we cater to those three pillars in a variety of ways. I'll just focus for now on one of them. We've had over 200 service learning groups come down there over the years from various high schools and colleges around the Northeast. These are students who prefer, instead of going to Cancun for their spring break, they come down to this farm, they serve the community, they work the land, they eat delicious meals and spend time with each other. And we find that these experiences are immersive. The students love them. They're often transformed by them. And then over the years, we've discovered that as we've become more developed there in Puerto Rico, we don't have as much of an opportunity to develop long-term relationships with students who really want to be involved with us. So it's been a goal of ours for years to have a project up here in New England where we have an opportunity to serve a lot of those students more intensively and have the opportunity to foster longer-term relationships with them.
How many people are involved with Plenitude from the level that you both are at?
Yeah, in terms of staff and volunteers.
Definitely.
Yeah, so as Dan was sharing, we started with just the two founders, Paula and Owen, who had the vision, and then over the years we've grown to about 35 staff members that are supporting the organization in Puerto Rico, and up here in Vermont we're much smaller. There's 3 of us that are supporting, but we get a lot of support.
So why Newbury?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, well, I wish that we could say, we did the very thorough analysis of every place, but we had some very specific criteria. We were really hoping for Vermont. We love the deep roots in community, the agriculture traditions here, but we had these different criteria. We wanted a farm that was above the watershed. We wanted a farm that had, and land that had a space that we could imagine growing into over 40 years. And what else?
Yeah,
criteria?
and
Yeah.
really we just fell in love with a big red barn that was on the farm. That was it's historic. It looks very Vermonty, and we saw it and knew it would be a perfect place to be sort of a base where we could teach workshops. And
So
things
you're
like
mentioning Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Puerto Rico here, but now that you're in Newbury, so you actually have land and farmland that you're working for this?
That's
Is that
right.
and you're
Yep.
local in Newbury?
Yeah.
Is it right to say where it is?
Yeah.
Where are you located?
We're off of North Road.
Okay.
In West Newbury. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, about a couple of years ago, we had this vision of having a space here, and just had tried and hadn't been able to. And we were given a legacy donation, and that allowed us to put down roots. And at the same time, this property in Newbury came up, and so we were able to get this beautiful 100-acre property. About 80 of the acres are under conservation easement. It has beautiful rolling hills. It has this amazing 3-story barn, and we've been over the last couple of years just been really building a lot of the infrastructure and the foundation of
So did you recently have the 2025 fall fundraiser there?
We did.
Okay, so tell us about that.
Yeah. That was a really, really nice event. We had
Good weather too, didn't
we
you?
had beautiful weather. Yes, yeah. So one of the first projects that we've done is we built kind of a natural building space it's a partially underground house with a living roof and a timber frame.
Cool.
And a local timber frame, Adam Miller and John Nininger, who's our neighbor, helped us to envision it. And so people were able to tour that and see that space. And then we also had some fun games and dance, and really it was for us, I think, what we've felt being in Newbury is just an incredible support from the local community.
Do you have another event coming up besides this fall fundraiser?
We're kind of on the wind down for this season.
Sure.
And then next year we'll probably have another one in October.
Sure.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
I think in one of the things that we'll be focusing on next year and years to come is the Gen Z population. Young adults. We're finding that there's a really high rate of loneliness, anxiety, depression among these individuals, and they're really looking for community, and we have sort of the opportunity to support them with different kinds of programs where we can bring them together, give them good food, and give them training on how to improve their communication, build their resumes, conflict resolution, and self-care practices.
Is there a typical age group that's most attracted to this? Is that a good question?
Usually we focus like 18 to 25.
Okay.
Kind of been
Right. So why do you do what you do? Let's find out here.
Yeah, well, I think as Dan was just sharing, specifically something that we've seen in a lot of our programming, right, and after COVID too, in particular, there's a lot of loneliness and social isolation, and people really need community. They need to be immersed in nature. They need to be together, including us, right? And we have seen, the more that we can provide spaces where people can create meaningful connections, that can be really, really useful. Earlier this year, we did a pilot program of this emerging leaders experience training that Dan was sharing about. And this one woman, throughout the whole week, she was, very timid, very anxious, just, took a lot of reinforcement, and we spent a lot of time with her, really trying to encourage her, really trying to, take her on some nature walks and to just spend some extra time with her. And we were not sure, what the impact of the week would do. And we actually got a call from her a couple of weeks ago, and she had taken a lot of things that she had learned and was actually applying them in her workspace. She started these different gratitude circles with her coworkers, which is pretty amazing because I'm sure she's one of the younger individuals in those spaces. And she just had a lightness about her too that was really, really encouraging to see that, you know, just taking a little bit of time being in a different space, even if you're not seeing the...
Are there other locations besides Newbury?
No.
This is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that so?
Yeah.
Why are we only doing these 2 places?
Yeah.
Right. We've got a limited staff. We feel like our goal is not to franchise. Right. We want to just do what we can do with as high quality as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And now we've got these 2 farms and 2 very different climates, reaching 2 very different populations. And I think we feel like this is all we can handle.
Right. I guess it would be. All right. We'll take a break here. Plenitude, Vermont. Plenitude PR? Why is the PR at the end of Plenitude?
That's for Puerto Rico and the VTs for Vermont.
Excellent. So. All right. We're going to take a break, all right? We'll come back and chat a little bit more with Jessica and also with Dan. Of course, this is brought to you by Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. It's the Business Spotlight. We do it every month, the 3rd Friday of the month, shortly after 8:30. We'll take a break, have a message from the bank, and be right back. As we remind you it again, right there, as we prepared to take the break, brought to you by Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. It is the Business Spotlight. We do it the 3rd Friday of the month. Plenitude, PR, Plenitude, BT. Glad to have both of you with us today, Dan and Jessica. All right, so a lot of information that we provided in the last 10 minutes. Let's find out what the marriage is between Puerto Rico and you guys in Vermont, right here in Newbury. And there are no other locations, just the 2 of you.
Just the 2.
So the cultures are different.
Very different.
And you spent some time in Puerto Rico, both of you. How long were you there?
We lived there full time for 5 years.
Okay, so you learned a lot about it there.
We sure did, and you're right. The culture, the community, the climates are all very different.
Sure.
In Puerto Rico, in the mountains there's a large kind of elderly population. It's a lot more poverty in that part of the world. And of course, the climate's very different. It's tropical there, so the kind of plants and trees that we're growing there are very different. But there's also some real similarities. You know, the kind of farming that we are going to do in both locations is a kind of farming called permaculture, which runs on principles, not just specific technical things. And Vermont and Puerto Rico, it turns out, both have very resilient climates. Right? They're very, different climates, but in both places, if you cut all the trees down, they'll grow back naturally pretty quickly, which isn't true in a lot of other areas. And it's really cool to do permaculture farming in both places and use similar principles to show how these techniques can be used.
So what do you need for equipment locally to do what you're doing at this level, Dan?
Oh, we need...
We would love a tractor.
Okay.
A tractor would be good.
We have doing a lot of shoveling, and we would love a tractor.
Interesting.
No, but really, we've felt so supported by the local community on so many levels, but we'd love for people to join us, especially in this really pioneer early stage. Everyone who's calling and coming to support us in some way, it really makes a big difference. Mm-hmm. And we have a website. It's plenitudepr.org that you can visit, and you can check out our Plenitude Vermont tab that's within that
Mhm.
that website, and there's some contact information. But we'd love for people to be in touch. We're a nonprofit organization, so donations are always amazing, and donations go super far. Every dollar goes really far in these early years. And also, time and talent. There's a lot of really talented people here, and anybody who wants to volunteer or has a specific skill and a tractor potentially.
Now, you're the associate director. You have other people helping you out locally?
We have a team, and then we also employ some local folks in the community.
Okay.
As well.
Have you had people come from Puerto Rico?
Yes.
To find out what we're like here?
Yes.
Yes,
It's been a really great unexpected bonus of having this project up here is that most of our staff in Puerto Rico has never been to Vermont or anywhere
Right.
in New England, and it's been thrilling for them to have an opportunity to serve up here and get to meet the incredible neighborhood and see the the beauty of Vermont.
Yeah. Now, you both spent 5 years in Puerto Rico. What was the biggest thing both of you learned by being there for 5 years? Anything you can pull from that quickly? I mean, maybe top of mind comes quickly,
Well, speaking for Jessica, she's learned Spanish very well.
Okay.
Me, not as well.
Okay.
I mean, it's just an incredible culture. It's our neighbors are all so warm and fun. They love their holidays, and it's just been really fun to try to integrate into the community there.
We've gotten a lot of requests to bring back a Christmas tree with us
Okay.
for the holidays.
So you established yourself here in Newbury when?
Mhm.
When did you kind of put the stake in the ground?
2 years ago, 2023.
Okay, so what's the future look like? What's your 5-year plan, or even sooner than that? You must have something in mind. You need a tractor, right?
Yeah, we need a tractor. Yeah, it depends on if we get the tractor.
We'll continue building some infrastructure, more, things like wood sheds, to store our wood, and more tools.
Yeah, we're really, right now we're really in this stage of building the base foundation for the organization. So we're putting in a lot of the first systems. This year we planted over 100 different fruit and berry bushes, and we'll continue to do that over the next probably 3 to 5 years. Is really developing the permaculture systems that Dan mentioned, and developing the agriculture side of it, as well as continuing to network in the local community and get to know, we're a community-driven organization, and that's really important to us. And so that's been a huge piece of what we've been doing, and we'll continue to do.
And I assume a great place to start would go to your website, because if they want to contact you, they can do so by going through what you have available there, obviously.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and people can reach out to me directly also. Is it okay to give my email? Yeah.
Certainly can.
My email is jessica@plenitudepr.org. If anybody wants to reach out and learn more about what we're doing or talk to me personally, I'd be happy to answer any questions and speak with anyone.
Yeah, a lot of great information. Wow, this is infant stages, isn't it?
It's definitely.
It's got to be exciting. Got to be exciting for both of you.
It is.
Can you see the White Mountains from where you are up there?
We sure can.
Can you?
It's beautiful.
A little white out there. Are you seeing it already? Maybe.
Yeah, we sure can. It's a beautiful place to be, and it's a fun stage of the organization, right? Because right now everything's in front of us, and we're listening. So anyone here who's got ideas for how an organization like ours can support the community or improve the environment, we're all ears.
Yeah, you guys are kind of wrapping it up for me. I was going to ask you both if you have final comments. So here's your opportunity to.
Yeah. Well, I just would want to say thank you to the community of Newbury and the wider community within Wills River. We've felt so supported and so encouraged throughout this whole process, and we're just really, really grateful. We feel it's very serendipitous that we ended up in the place where we are, because it feels so aligned with everything that we're doing at Plenitude as well. So
Yeah. We love Newberry. We had no idea what an amazing place it was until we got here, and it's just been a big warm hug from our neighbors and the community here.
Yeah.
Again, your website, Jessica, for people to grab the information?
Plenitudepr.org, and no E at the end. It's
Okay.
spelled the Spanish way, PLENITUDPR.org.
Excellent.
And then you can look for the Vermont page under that.
Well, nice meeting both of you, and good luck.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. And that wraps it up, our conversation. Here we are, 8:54. It's the Business Spotlight, heard the third Friday of the month. It's always brought to you by Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. And as we look ahead into November, we're going to have Sandy Parker from Cottage Creations LLC in Woodsville. She'll be joining us on a Friday, November 21st, shortly after 8:30. Good to see both of you. Enjoy the weekend.
Awesome.
Thank
You as
very
well.
much.
We'll be taking a break looking at the weather forecast right after these. Mark, thank you for the update, and certainly thank you to Dad's 4x Tool and Supply for bringing you a look at the weekend weather. That wraps up 3 hours, which went by pretty quick. A lot of different people that we chatted with, and we look forward to chatting with some interesting guests next week on a Friday morning with Steve and John and friends right here at Your Country WYKR. And don't forget about all the activities coming up this weekend. There's going to be a penny sale and silent auction at Orange East Senior Center this weekend, with activities beginning at about 9 o'clock in the morning. Winter clothing giveaway from 10 to 2 downstairs in the North Haverhill United Methodist Church. That happens tomorrow. Jazzy's Children Halloween Open House is tomorrow in Groton at the Community Building. That'll be from 1 to 3 with all kinds of fun and also some games and crafts and stuff. So, yeah, a lot of things happening here in the listening area. News and information is next, and we'll continue to keep you updated in regards to the weather. Compliments of our many sponsors and our meteorologists.